For decades, people celebrated Christmas trees using traditional wax candles, until of course the invention of electricity, along with the electric light bulb. But for Carl Otis that wasn't good enough, and in 1938 he invented something really different. It was the combination of the electric light bulb and a vial filled with a liquid, and by applying electricity, this simple vial would turn into a sort of electric candle, so unique that he received a patent in 1944 for what he called an ornamental illumination device. But the trade name that made them famous is bubble lights. And from the 50s onward, they sold hundreds of thousands of these. In fact, they're still available today. Yet surprisingly, they're also known as the deadliest Christmas ornament that you can still purchase. They appear in many poison control centers, but what exactly is the harm with these things? Why are they so dangerous? And are these fears really founded? Well, I wanted to look closer at this ornament and figure out what exactly is going on. The secret to why these lights work is of course the liquid inside the vials. Now these come in a number of different colors, orange, reds, you can even get them in blue and purples. But the color isn't the problem, it's the chemical itself, which is naturally clear. Naturally, if you can call it that, because it is a synthetic chemical. In the Otis original patent, he specified 2 different chemicals could be used. The first was Wood's alcohol, but the later and more commonly used chemical was methylene chloride, also referred to as dichloromethane. This is commonly used for things like cleaning solutions, but it has a very unusual property. It can boil at a super low temperature, just 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, just slightly warmer than the human body. So that made designing this product quite easy. By using a simple 8-watt bulb in the base of this device, it would create just enough heat placed against the bottom of the vial, and by sealing the top of the vial, you would prevent steam from escaping, keeping that boiling action going on for basically eternity. They've also placed these vent holes in the bottom, preventing too much heat from building up, and that boiling action will keep going for about 5 minutes even after the light has been turned off. Affordable, cheap to operate, so what exactly makes these things deadly? Methyl chloride, when it's sealed up like this, is just fine, but of course if the vial breaks, what happens when this liquid is released? Dichloromethane also has another interesting effect. When it's exposed to air or an ignition source, it can turn into carbon monoxide. And though I couldn't find any documented cases, there are also concerns that if the vial was broken off at the top and a child drank the solution inside, they could actually have monoxide poisoning directly from the fluid. And there are no governmental controls on this. In fact, they don't regulate Christmas ornaments at all. They're not like toys that have tons of regulations, so manufacturers can still keep making these. Could this stuff truly create carbon monoxide? So I set up a simple test to see what would happen if I broke that vial open in a sealed area. But before I show you guys the test, let's talk about mercury glass ornaments. Now these things are cool and they've been around for almost 100 years. They essentially used mercury painted on the inside of glass. Now they still can't be called the deadliest ornaments because they don't cause any type of instant effect the same way the methylene chloride would. And Carl Otis's invention went much further than just the Christmas bulbs. He also used the same patent to make signs in jukebox tubes that would do the similar type of bubbling, but wouldn't require any type of maintenance to operate. You may have even seen his invention on other things like night lights. Here's a Halloween one, and it still gives a pretty cool effect. And here's my simple test to see if this vial is really emitting any type of carbon monoxide. I've got my detector along with a petri dish. I'm going to break the vial into it, and then I will cover the whole area with this cake dish. After leaving this for several minutes, the alarm never went off. This model also registers the amount of carbon monoxide, and it didn't detect anything. So I decided to try to light the solution on fire, and would the flame cause monoxide to be generated? Methylene chloride is not generally considered flammable, though the flame did kind of jump to it when I put it on the bottom of the petri dish, but it also still did not emit any type of carbon monoxide. So despite numerous warnings on poison control sites, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Did they change the chemical back to alcohol? There is no information on the packaging whatsoever, and they're not required to provide it by law. So despite this Christmas ornament being called the deadliest ornament that's currently for sale, I couldn't detect any type of problems from the chemical, but they may have made changes to the solution, and I would no way recommend that you do anything with this vial, and you want to of course try to keep it intact. So what do you guys think? Did they change the formula? Is there something about these things I've done wrong? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or maybe you use these things every year and they're just part of your tradition. In a world of flat screens and LEDs, I really like these lights. They're different. They kind of bring you back to a time way before computers or any other type of technology, and they certainly are cool to look at. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Silver Symbol channel for more videos coming up.